Hi everyone, Richard Carlton here. We are going to be having Nick join us for day 2 here pretty soon, but he's off playing his arcade and he's supposed to be sitting over here. I think he's forgotten that we're actually live on TV, so he's just he actually rebuilds these things, and we're going to have Nick joining us briefly here. That's his hobby. That's his what he does. He gets these things; they're all beat up, and he rebuilds them when he's not building awesome interfaces and helping us with the FileMaker platform. So it is 1 o'clock. Welcome to live FileMaker training at fmtraining.tv. I'm Richard Carlton, CEO of RC Consulting. We have a great team of FileMaker developers, FileMaker coaches. We sell FileMaker software. We set up FileMaker servers. We set you up in the cloud. We do kind of everything. People are surprised that we do everything, but we also we do everything pretty much. This training is specifically targeted towards kind of intermediate, potentially advanced developers. So this is kind of our continuum. If I view actual size, this is the continuum of training. We have people that are kind of business owners or managers. We have brand new FileMaker developers. We have intermediate developers, and of course the senior people. So the training today largely is in this area here, and we want to encourage you to ask questions because we are broadcasting on 1080 in high definition, and high definition to Twitch and YouTube, and so we have questions on both sides, and we got people back on YouTube. Awesome, welcome, very cool. Point Richmond's there, awesome, welcome. I'm gonna just turn a smidge of audio back on Nick here because he's beating the crap out of that pinball. Anyway, it's kind of funny. So I've never seen anything like this before. So if you want people with personality that are marginally entertaining, Nick is one of those kinds of people. So, but it's mandatory that you have fun sometimes. So anyway, real quick, this training is being sponsored by fmtraining.tv, where if you want to help sponsor the broadcast, in fact, Nick actually is donating his time today. He believes in this so much that he's just doing it because he wants to be out there and help you folks. But if you want to help support the people who are running the broadcast, which you don't really see them. I mean, Nick is kind of out there and you see me a little bit, but there's like 3 or 4 people that run behind the scenes that are editing and helping and making it all work. You can help support the channel by either purchasing one of the subscriptions or renewing it if you already have it, right? So that would be really great. And that way we can bring you great FileMaker training from the Nick Arcade. So if you're watching it, this is off the hook. If you want a discount coupon for these items here, so if you go to fmtrain.tv, you can buy them here. But if you'd like a discount, a $50 discount on either one of these, send us an email to support@rcconsulting.com. And there he is. He's still going. Nick.
Okay, I come.
You come?
Yeah,
Nick, you have to quit playing your toys.
I come.
You come. So, so there's Nick. So everyone is wondering what the hell you're doing and why you're having so much fun when we're here doing FileMaker stuff.
That's what I'm doing. So welcome into my basement. So this is one of my hobby. Many hobbies, but this one is my biggest. The pinball restoration, and it's very great. It's cool.
Yeah, I told everyone you don't have a wife, you don't really have kids. This is you. You have toys, and that's what you do. You restore these from parts, right? Pieces and parts.
Yeah, they pretty much when they come to me, they are a piece of trash that people are going to put at the dump station, right? So I take them back and bring them to life, and actually I bring them to their original state. And that's the most difficult thing to do, is to bring them to the original state without modification and stuff like that.
Cool. Everyone's here, so we're ready to start day 2 of our awesome training. Reminder that yesterday was day 1. It has been recorded. Today is day 2, and then tomorrow is day 3. The last day, but Nick is here all week with us, so if you want to learn awesome stuff, just stay here with us. So I'm Nick. I'm going to go full screen on you. You ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready.
All righty.
So here yesterday we discussed about the quick find, right? So how we use the quick find and stuff like that. And today we are going to work on how to use this go to related record business. Okay. Because I know many of you didn't understand what I was talking about yesterday about this. I was just introducing the go to related records. So the first thing you need to know, how go to related records works, right? Is like, let's say you have a button here, you want to create a button. By the way, is my resolutions great?
Yeah, you look really nice, Nick. It
Okay,
looks
okay, okay,
great. And then once again,
okay.
reminder everyone that recommend you set the resolution high. If you're just opening this on YouTube or something, sometimes YouTube defaults to a really low resolution, so you want to make it a much higher resolution. Twitch, on the other hand, goes immediately to 1080. But yeah, you want to make it as large as possible. And then if they have questions, once again, reminder that there's about a 1 minute delay, and they should definitely ask questions, and then we will thread those into the conversation.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
Yeah. So how this go to related records works? So you create a button, right? And yeah, the GTRR, this is acronym for go to related record. Okay. So so I want to go to the related record. I want to show the what's the name, the related records of the contacts, for example, the related records that are linked to this account. So I create a button with a script step, go to related record, right? And I want to go to the contacts. This is the link I'm using for the contacts. And I want to show that in what's the name, in a new window, okay? And I want to see that into the contact layout, right? And I want them to be a new document window. Okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to open a new window, you know, with the contact, and of course I need to click here and say, okay, show me only the related records. Okay, show only related records, the match current record only. That means so I want only the records that are linked to this account. This account, Copedia, has those people. Okay, if I click here, I have a new window with those people. See that match, exactly the same amount of people. So this is how go to related record works. When you click, it brings you the related records to the account you hear, the record you hear. So I'm starting from this account, Copedia, and the go to related record show me this. So now that we know how go to related records works, we will learn that you can say to go to related records to the current table. That means I want to go to related records to go to related records into the same table. That means from the table accounts to the table account. So demonstration. Let's say I create a field, a global field. Say, okay, this is a filter test. Okay, this filter test, and it's a global. Okay, let's create a global, and I want this filter test. Okay, to show. So I create. This is the occurrence. Okay, so occurrences is where that's what we call occurrence. You know, table or relationship. This is the occurrence. Okay, when you create this is the occurrence. Occurrence, that means it's a point of entry that go to related records we target. Okay, so let's say I am in account and I want to go to account. So I create a new occurrence to account. So now it's account 2. Okay, because I already have one. So you can't have two occurrences with the same name. Automatically, FileMaker is renaming with 2. See, if I remove this, click OK, FileMaker says 2, because you cannot have two occurrences with the same name. So I have this occurrence number 2. Okay, and I want to link what's the name, my search field test with their status, for example. Okay, so my search field test with no, it's filter test. Yeah, filter test. So filter test with status. That means those two are linked now together, right? So I have a link from the filter test to the status. So why I'm doing that? Because now in my layout, okay, So in my layout, I'm going to put in the layout, so let's put that on the side for the moment, okay? And on my layouts, I put my filter test, okay? Filter test, so this is the filter test, okay? So now I create a new script, or I don't need a script, I just need a button. So I create a button, okay? And this button it's a search, it's filter, okay? And it's a single step that goes to and this, I want this filter test to show me the related records that are in account 2. So I want, let me show you. From this, I'm here. This is where I am. Okay? This is where I am. I want the go to records to show me the records linked related to this occurrence. Okay? So I'm starting from here. I put something in the filter test, and I want the whatever this link here, whatever this link finds into the account number 2. That means in the same table, so demonstration. So, and I want this to be related. This here, the filter test. I want this to be related to. I want this to be a pop-up menu, and I want this to be status. Okay, so I want to filter. I want all 5,000 records, and I want all the active. So I select active, and I filter. Clack. Okay, so it didn't work. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I know why. Sorry, I forgot to say. This. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so now I want 5,000 records, and I want only the active. Bam, I have 1,700 active, all active, 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 active. Okay, so now I want the inactive. I have 1,622 inactive. So using relationships, I build a filter that targets the same table and shows me the related record based on the relationship. So far, so good, okay? It's very simple. Now you know that you can have a relationship that points to two, what's the name? Points to two, what's the name? Occurrence, and both occurrence can be targeting the same source, the same table, okay? Which is accounts. We are both on the account table, okay? So this link here is what we call a self-join relationship, okay? That is what we call that, self-join relationship. That's why here, in my example here, I'm showing that as account self. I'm showing that this is a self-join relationship, okay? So this is very important. So the problem is, so that's cool. Many of you are using this technique maybe already, maybe, but it gets hairy when you want to have two filters combined. Not only one, you want another one. Okay, so let's create another one. Okay, so I want, this was my filter test. That's the filter. Let's say, let's call it filter status, and let's create a new one, filter department. Okay, so now I have two filters. I have a filter department and filter status. Okay, and I want this relationship. That means the relationship I use from account to account, the self-joined relationship. I want also not only to filter the status, but to filter the department. Okay, so to filter this, filter department. So I add this, and now I create here, I go here, and I say, okay, I have the status, and now I have the department, which points to the department. Okay, so now I have two filters. But what happened if I say I want inactive and all of them. How I can do that? Okay, because if I say, okay, I want inactive advertising, and he found them, inactive advertisement. They're all inactive advertising. See, advertising here, inactive. Now I want the active advertising. Is advertising active? I want the active finance, or whatever, archive finance, etc., etc. So when you have something in the relationship, right? When you have something in the relationship, it works. If you have nothing here, it doesn't work anymore, right? It shows nothing, because a relationship here, one of those two keys, we call that keys. Okay, so a relationship is linked related to by two keys, the parents and the foreign. This is the parent key, this is the foreign key. Okay, so this is I'm giving you some terminologies that you can search over the internet and stuff like that.
We did have a question here, Nick, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I take that?
Yeah.
So David wanted to know, doing GTRR in the same layout, you don't lose context for other scripts in the same layout?
No, you don't use context. That's the beauty of it. Good question. That's the beauty, because when you see, as you show here, I'm saying current layout because I'm staying in the same layout, so you don't lose the context. You keep the context, so you didn't even move. That's why it's super powerful, because you don't move, and you will see later in the demonstration that you have kind of a lot of control here.
Okay. And I do have one more question if you answered that one. So that was from David on Twitch. On YouTube, we have Arturo. Arturo's from Bogota, Colombia, for real. That's pretty awesome. I thought that filtering, okay, so this is what he says. I thought that filtering using a global field only works on a portal, not on a layout.
It works also on the layout. That's why I'm doing that course. It's because I want to show people that the conventional wisdom says, oh, this is only for that. No, go to Red Records. You can use it for many, many, many things. And I can stay all day long talking about go to Red Records. But you can go to Red Records. It's actually, okay, let's back off. The portal is just a window to related records. So a portal is doing nothing else than this job. Is bringing a list of related records and display in the layout. Here I'm displaying that in a new window, but the portal is doing exactly that. Actually, each time you load a record, is like when you arrive in the record, you click here, right? It's the same thing. Like you go here, you click here. That's exactly what portal does. That's why sometimes portals can become extremely slow, because depending on how many records you're loading, right? So go to the records. You can go to a layout. You can go to the same layout. Actually, that's the reason why FileMaker came with this current layout, because otherwise, what's the reason to go in the current layout? You know what I mean? Yep. Because you have to target the same table. See the table account. You can target another a table other than accounts if you stay in the current rate.
Right? But Nick, just to be clear, I mean, we have several questions here, but that up there, that's one of those items that's mislabeled, right? Up there at the table.
Yeah, it's mislabeled.
It's actually the table occurrence, right? So yeah. So just people need to understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to just bang before you start moving forward. Let's just hammer some questions here. So Arturo said, he said that I thought that filtering using a global filter works on a portal layout. Are you using the base table for the layout? Are you using the base table for the layout, the related table? Question mark. I'm not sure I understand the question.
Me neither.
Okay, so the next question had me. Okay, and he says meaning using a delete self-related table.
That works too. Oh, if you use this here,
yeah,
of course it does. And
Yeah.
you have to be very careful on this,
Right.
because if you delete a record here, right?
Right.
If I delete a record in this table, it will delete in the same table all the records where they have the status and the department matching what you put here.
Yeah, that's like sending your if you have a 5-year-old child and putting them out in the backyard with power tools to play in the backyard.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
no, it's not good.
That,
With other questions, so then Elzo asked, can you have as many filters as you want? And then Ron said, or can you change it to an or? An or.
okay. So that what okay. So so now we're going. So that's what I'm saying. I was saying, okay, when you have this is and this and this.
And yeah,
okay?
and it's really important people understand and or, right? So it's and this or this, right? So
yeah, no. So the or is not possible.
Well, okay. Nathan said yes, you could do it, but it would suck. And so
I'm not. Yeah, everything's possible. Okay, but using that technique here, right? You need to. There's always a possibility to do that, right? I know how. There's one technique that we can use for that, but it's extremely
Well, that's okay. That's why Nathan said it would suck. So yeah. So
it's not beautiful. Okay, so I don't, and it's slow, and I don't want to promote anything that is slow, because sometimes the remedy is worse than the cure. The cure is worse than the disease, right? So it's I don't want to advertise for things like that. But so now I want to answer the question. Do you have any question?
No, that's it. I got these two I got Arturo Vega on YouTube asking questions, but I think you're kind of mostly just once again, if you're writing a question, make sure you're we see this, but you're writing a question on a conversation we had like a minute ago. Remember, there's a solid minute delay right now, and so just make sure you write the question as detailed as possible so we can answer it. If that makes sense, because there's about a minute delay here. So I mean, no I'm watching the text back and forth with these folks, but by the time they see your response, Nick, it's already been a minute or whatever. So yeah, okay.
So here the problem is this. The problem is you can have two filter with the go-to record with the parent key to be empty, right? So that means what you found no record because the parent key is empty. You need something here. You need something matching. So for that purpose, I created a technique. Okay. What is this technique? I call that the one technique. So we need to make, we learned yesterday that, just as a reminder, I can go back there, that you can have multiple keys in multiple value in one key. Remember that yesterday? For people not showing up yesterday, see here, I have one field here. I have two value. We call value in FileMaker two strings between with our carriage return. This is get on my nerve. Okay. Okay. So let me explain. We call what we call value. It's very important that you understand. So let's say I have two values. I have value 1 and value 2. Okay, so I have two values. See, it's by carriage return. See, if I see value count on this, it says I have two values because there's two, right? There's a carriage return between. So that's what we call a value. Okay, so when you add multiple value in one field, you see here, I have three. You have Abbott, Evelyn, and Gabrielle. Abbott, Evelyn, and Gabrielle. Okay, so this is how the multi-value relationship works. So now we know that, and it works on both sides. On both ways. It works on both. Anything you do in FileMaker relationship, that was the beauty of the relationship, and that's why I hate SQL, because SQL is one side target, is from A to B. That's it. Here you can go from everything you do here between those two is between those two, whatever side of the fence you are. If you are in this side or in this side is reversed. Okay, so so that's the beauty of it. So so let's go back here. So what the one technique? So let's say I have the department here and I have the cities here. Okay, so let's show the city. So I want to make sure that I can, so I can put that on the side now and bring back those. Okay. Okay. So now, as you can see here, those let's don't see that for the moment. So as you can see here, I have the city and one. I have the ID department and one. I have the ID user and one, and I have the status and one. So pretty much here, it is there are 4 fields that brings whatever is in city, whatever is in the ID department, whatever is in the ID user, and whatever in the status, and add a 1 at the end. So let's say, I change the city. I put Los Gatos. So now it's Los Gatos 1. If I put Fairfield, is Fairfield 1. If I change to inactive, is inactive 1. So everything you do all the time when you change something, if I change the department, see, for example, here, I have the department ID starting with 3231. If I change to accounting, is now 6D09. It changed the ID department. Okay, so so because and you add 1 at the end. See, I have 1 at the end, 1 at the end, 1 at the end, 1 at the end. So very simple. Yesterday we saw that we use. So those are my fields that I create. I call that the links. They are links IDs. So links IDs link to, and I put GTRR at the end. Then I know that is the field I'm going to use for the GTRR, right? For the go to red records. That is what I'm going to use for the filter. So I identify the names because that's the purpose of those fields. So let's bring the city, for example. What it's doing is just an auto entry calculation that say, okay, I want city, whatever in city, and 1 at the end. Same for account. Whatever in the account, I want 1 at the end. Department, the same. Whatever in the ID department, I want the 1 at the end, etc., etc. By the way, you can see, I left on purpose, you can see here on my desktop that I'm working on an auto enter calculation session that is going to come very soon because I know many of you have asked me.
We did book it, Nick. We did book it.
Okay.
Hang on for those of you who. So we're gonna jump off your screen, Nick, just briefly. Just don't panic. I want to answer this because it's a kind of, and you need to put it on your calendar too, Nick. You don't even know about this. So what I'm going to do is normally when you come to the live training here, you go to, I'm over here playing with my Lego pieces, right? Sure. You're not allowed to see my super amazing FileMaker 19 Lego pieces. So my props for the 19 video course. So live training, we see the next, well, it should be 6 days. It's stopping here. I'll have to figure out why it's not showing the rest of that. But what I do is I go into my FileMaker custom application right here, and I bring up the CMS training schedule, future events. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm looking at the schedule right here coming up. So we got Nick the rest of this week. Next week, day 1 and day 2 is SQL days. You guys wanted SQL? Nick is protesting out in front of the house with a sign saying no SQL. We have a little protest, like a union protester. Then we have these events here. And then Memorial Day, we've got a Memorial Day broadcast. If you're military, give me your MOS, unit details, and you get the FileMaker training for free. And then we start a series of sessions here on May 26, updating to your solution to the newest version of FileMaker, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And then past this is where we get into your stuff, Nick. So we want to do on Thursday, It's down the road a little bit. I do apologize for that. But it's going to Thursday, the 4th of June is going to be the actually it was already right here. It's Wednesday. It's auto enter calculations is Wednesday, June 3rd for everyone. Okay, so it still doesn't have an icon yet. It hasn't been published to FileMaker. We are publishing that. So Nick, write that down. It's another Nick day with Nick Hunter. So anyway, so with you guys come up with questions and ideas and courses we want, we load them right in and get them booked up for you. All right. So back to you, Nick Hunter. Did you make a note about that, Nick?
Yeah, I will. Don't worry.
Wednesday, June 3rd. Awesome.
Yeah, I am on my laptop, not my main computer. So I'm going to do that.
All
right. So here we have those links. Okay. And here I have the global field where I put whatever I'm looking for. Okay, so here I have the relationship here. Okay, I have the relationship. I want the filter to look for the filter city to look for the link city. Okay, I want the filter department to look for the link ID department, etc. For the mine only. Mine means my stuff with my user ID, and the state same for the status. Okay, so why this one business here? Okay, because okay, so let's show this now, and if so, when you have I have two values here. We learned earlier that FileMaker works well with two values or multiple values in one field, right? So here I have one. I have a bunch of one. That means it shows me if I do this, it shows me all my records because it's 1 1 1 1. So it's this relationship here is looking for a bunch of one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. But all the records, all of them has one at least in this field here. All the records have one. You know, if you go, see, they all have one here. See, they all have one here. You know, here they all have one. One here, one here, one here. All of them. So that means it will find always one. That means it will find always all of them. So let's say now I'm selecting what department? I'm selecting accounting. Bam. Accounting is this ID. So in my filter, I put the ID I'm looking for. And the relationship say, okay, hey, I didn't find one anymore, but I found those, right? Because I have multiple values, but one of the values matches what you asked me, okay? So I'm showing them, here you have all the accounting, they're all here. And so, and you say, okay, asset management, okay, all the asset management are here, right? Because I changed the ID. You can see here the ID is changing. Quality assurance, right? Bam, it changed the ID. It found the quality assurance. All of them, all the records have 5C22, right? All of them. Okay, because one of the values, so if I want all of them, I click here, that means I clear, I put one here, that means I have all of them. So now I have four filter combined, 4. That means they all accumulate. I want mine only. That means the user ID is this user. Mine because at startup I have a script that says, oh, you are logged in with this ID. Okay, this is the ID of the user that is logged in, current logged in user. Okay, so mine means the user that is in front of the computer, logged in with his credential. This is only his his record only. So now this is set up. As you can see, I have a bunch of ones here. That means, okay, I found this. I found those records based on those 4 fields here, I found those. Here I found all the ones. I found all of them has ones, but I only find the in this filter here. I'm looking for, and I found only 1654.
Question.
Yeah.
Ron has a question. One is to okay. So Ron says I think he's about talking about your one in there, and I think you may have answered this, but just want to emphasize it. One is to find all, but replace with true idea. A true ID with true ID then restricts to found set is what he says. Question mark. So
Yes, that means what we if you put one here, that means if I don't. Okay, so everywhere, everybody has one. If I ask for one, he found one. He found everybody because everybody has one, but everybody doesn't have Fairfield. Some of them has Fairfield. Okay, so why it's not working here? Okay, no, it's not working anymore. Okay, maybe because I don't have Fairfield anymore.
well,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay. So let's
I don't know if it matters or not, but Fairfield's misspelled, so I don't know if that matters or not.
yeah, that's the reason why.
Okay. Okay. And then
It,
David David has a comment here. See, that's the problem. Even I'm making typos on this thing because it's doing autocorrect. But he says all MENAs, MENAs, I guess menus, erase content in the global field are set to 1. All menus, or I guess erase content in the global field set to 1. So yeah.
yeah. So Fairfield works now.
Okay.
Yeah, because I misspelled the name.
Got
So,
it.
okay, so you see, I have only Nick Hunters, There's only Nick Hunter and only Fairfield. So I combined both 2 filters. He said, okay, I found this, and those I found, those I don't have any restriction for status and any restriction for department because I found all the ones, right? But those 2 drives I have 186. If I say I want this, I have 1654. If I want Fairfield, I have this. And if I have the department advertising, I have only 12. And if I want the status active, I have only 4. So you can combine. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 filter combined, right? If you want to do that with Perform Find, you can start now, and next year maybe you will come to something that is close to. Okay, because it's impossible to do that with finds. It's very complicated, and actually, and this technique is extremely fast. Works great on WebDirect. Works great on Go, right? Because you use, and actually all of this. Can you imagine? No, but just to be honest with you, all of this with one relationship. That's it. One relationship. This one. No crazy perform find constraints and no. There's one relationship that is doing all of this job here, right? So, and I prove to you, I have here. I have a button. See. So what is script doing? This is the script. I clear the search box. This is for tomorrow. Okay. I set up the department with the ID department that I'm selecting here, right? I set up the department. I want the name because I want to show the name here of the department that I select. I close the popover and I go to read records. That's it. That is what doing the filter. This is just cosmetic. This is just to make it look fancy. Like, I select this as, when, let's say, for example, here I select customer, I have Fairfield and I select customer service. So he said this, and then he changed the name to customer service, right? And then I close the popover, and then I go to read record. Right? So what's the name? That's it. It's one script step, go through a record is doing all this here. And here I show multiple ways to have filters like this, right? They looks like a difference. Then you can get inspired if you need. but I have 5,000 records on the server. I mean, it's not. I'm not. It's not like a small found set, right? Do we have any question here?
I'm looking at it. We answered Ron's question. I think we asked David's question. They're just sucking it all in because, I mean, I think there's some fundamentals here that people have to get. The idea of having a relationship and to be able to attach to everything is something that you almost everyone ends up doing that sooner or later. We do even do it internally with our CRM. We are always trying to, be able to search and get everything through the relationship and then filter it down from there. This right here that Nick has done is absolutely I mean, this interface is super clean, makes total sense. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And then obviously, this is over here just the mechanics of what's going on.
Yeah, it's a
But
big, yeah.
but the sample file is going to come to all you tomorrow, as you saw from yesterday, and maybe even today a little bit. Nick is going through it. He fixes things, so we don't have like a bunch of versions of it. We'll have the final one at the end of tomorrow. Nick, if you think you're good at the end as we start tomorrow, while you're doing it, I will go up and post it and get it ready for everyone so they can have it. Um, but and then we did have one question here. It had nothing really to do with you so much, Nick, but we do have a policy where if we have current or retired U.S. military, or technically NATO military, you can send us your information, your MOS, last unit, I guess duty assignment if you're retired, etc., to support at RC Consulting, and you will get our training for free. That's the least I can do for that group of people because they generally don't make much money ever. I know for a fact. So yeah, because my background is U.S. Army. So there we go. So people are asking about that because we have Memorial Day coming up, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, important dates, at least in the United States, for some of us anyway. So, all right, so we do have a question here from John Haggerty before I just kick it. It says, what would be different if you wanted to say two departments? So if you, I
Okay.
guess you want to do two departments, so that's John Haggerty's question.
Yeah, you can do it. So yesterday I tried it. I failed. So let's take this department business here. Okay. So let's go back to a simpler example here. My example that I had here, right? So let's say now instead of being this, it's a checkbox. Okay. So that means I can select multiple. Okay. So if I have a multiple, I say I want active and archive and a filter. I have active and archive together. So let me show you. Maybe it will be better if I just say a drop down list and do this. So if I say I have archive and active, I filter. I have active, 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 archive, active, archive, archive, archive. See, so if I remove active archive and I keep on the active, I have on the active, right? So yes, you can do that. So you can have here instead of having only one, you can select click 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 click, and you will walk because you set the field. So I can modify this with I can modify this for you here right quick. Since we have time, we can do that. All of this is without the net. I didn't expect that to happen, but I will do it. I will do it. So let's put this here, put that on the side. So let's change the behavior of this button, for example. Because today this script is I'm setting the field this with the ID department. So what I'm going to change this. I'm going to change that saying, okay, I want whatever already in the filter, right? And this. So I'm making a list. I'm asking a list that is whatever already in the filter and add what I click. Okay. Now, for the beauty of the thing, I use we can use the conditional formatting, saying, okay, pattern count, okay, in the filter department, and you look for the all department Cartesian ID department. So when you do this, that means you can have a field color, we can have a gray like that. That means it's selected. So normally, now if I click here, if I show the G filter department, and normally it should click. Okay, so I shouldn't close the, hold on. I shouldn't close this. Yeah. Okay, so I said I don't want to close it. Okay. Anyway, so but you can do it. I said I don't want to close the popover. Why? Oh, because I commit. Okay. I don't know why it's closing this. I said don't close. Oh, the go-to-array record doing this. Let's deactivate this right quick, just for the testing. Why this is not working? Filter department. Am I showing the right? Yeah, filter department. It should do it. I don't know why it's not doing it.
It's awesome when you're stuck, Nick, because that gives the rest of us a chance to catch up. With shut up. Slow down. Just like take a drink. Give us a chance to catch up mentally. I mean, maybe everyone else is following along at full speed, but I'm typing messages here trying to follow along, and my brain's swimming. Maybe the rest of you are all brilliant, figured this out, but
yeah, but I don't understand why it's not working though.
I'm really disappointed in you, Nick. You obviously suck badly.
Because normally this should work, because whatever in the filter department, I want to set up this with whatever I'm doing that all the time. I don't know why it's not working though. So I don't know. It doesn't want to work. It should though. It works here, but it's, I don't know.
Are you still doing I'm doing multiple things here. Are you still doing the multi-department demo? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, this is, but it should
listen
work,
if you can't do it, there ain't no one else alive in America that can do this thing.
No, it's just I don't know why it's not, it's, I didn't prepare that, so it's
well, then you have something to take home, a homework assignment for tomorrow, because they're going to ask you again tomorrow. I do have another question. I have two other questions. So when he clicks on department or whatever, what is the script trigger?
This.
Are you actually running a trigger, or what trigger?
No, there's no trigger. No trigger. Trigger. Okay. Let me say something about triggers.
Okay.
We need to be extremely careful of triggers. If you can avoid triggers, it's better. So let me explain, since we have some time. If you need a bunch of triggers, that means your UI suck. Period.
Okay. All right. Okay, careful. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to have like a snow. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This broadcast is being brought to you by opinionated person. Everyone sucks.
Your UI bleep. Okay. So you fill the bleep with whatever you want. Now it's true. That means you have a problem in UI. Here. No. I mean, you need triggers. They need to be like the exception of the exception. You can use triggers, right? But if you have a trigger, for example, on the field, sometimes I'm seeing that you have a trigger on the field and you have you have 200s and go to layout and go back and close window and execute SQL. You have this as when you type a character on the field, you have this popping up, right? So that means you have a problem. Okay, so it's true. So here I build the UI to prevent those triggers. Yes, if I use that, look, I love this question. I love it because it's exactly what I'm advertising all the time. Yes, I could have this as a pop-up menu, like this. Then I will need a freaking trigger. When you change this, it will go to red record. But this is not good. This UI much better. You have a list much better than this, because this is okay when you have let's say 15, 20 record. But when you have 200, here, if I have 200, not only I have the sliding thing here, but I can put a search box if I want, right? That you cannot do here. So that's why I say, okay, you have this UI here, and here the same here for the cities. You select the city. When and here, let's say you want to reset this, you want to clear this. You have a extremely well-known identifiable buttons that everybody on earth knows what is doing. That means clearing.
Hey, hey, people want to know if you actually have a patent for the script triggers at all, because you hate them and they must not be something.
No,
new.
I'm not saying. No, look. It's not. I'm not. I don't.
I think people were messing with you, Nick, and you're just like losing your mind. So just understand it.
No. I'm not. Look, no, it's important. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anything. It's just that use the right thing at the right moments.
Okay.
Otherwise, your solution will explode, and that's why people are saying, "Oh, it's slow. Oh, it's not comfortable. Oh, it's not this. Oh, it's not that." Yeah, because
yes, sir, we have it. Sir, we have it. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. Move on.
Okay. No, it's true. It's true. So if you have a look, I love beer, but I drink, let's say, 3 beers a week. I don't drink a beer every 2 minutes. So it's all a matter of balance on everything. When you can avoid the trigger, is better. But I have trigger all. Look, if you look my development, maybe I can open one. Let's open one. This one. Okay, this is real stuff. So I'm not against triggers. This real stuff. Okay, and I think maybe Scott is watching, but so.
Well, we don't want to get Scott mad at me. It does help pay the bills, right? So yeah.
No. So. If you look my stuff, if you look hold on here, if you look here, is that a guy that doesn't like triggers?
No. We're just asking you questions, Nick, because once you go off in the weeds, then we're going to make fun of you because you're hacking your triggers with your patents. Listen, everyone is totally impressed with your patents. For those of you who didn't see this from a couple weeks ago, Nick got out his patents, was showing his patents. He has legit, no kidding, real patents from the U.S. government for amazing FileMaker things that are in the product, right? So,
yeah. But thank you, yeah. But here is it's a good demonstration. Like, for example, all my solution has on record load. So people say, "Oh, on record load, you have a trigger on each time you load a record." Yes, sir, I have one. But look how small it is, right? So, okay, this one is a bad example, but but this is only when the open state is 1, is only when I create a new record. So otherwise, this is all what I'm doing, right? I'm doing very, very, very few, and this is not me. This is Scott did something here, but anyway.
There you go. Blame it on the customer that gives us money. Yeah. That's the dumbest stuff I've heard all day. All right, never mind. Please disregard the customer that sends us nice money. That we love you. Nick did not just blame everything on you on the internet in public. Oh my God.
It's not what I've done. No, because we are testing things here, but typically, the script must remain extremely small. That's my point. My point: the script must remain very small. Like when you have if I go here, I go inspection.
All right, Scott is watching you now. He's going to hear all this. We're screwed. So just so you know, I'm actually watching him right here. He says I'm here watching everything you're doing, Nick.
Okay, so see, it's very small. It's very small. When I do like here, I have an OnKeystroke. I have an OnKeystroke. What's the name? Each time you type a key, you have on keystroke thinking, you have this trigger that, but here you don't type anything on this layout. You don't type anything. You don't enter. That's why I can have on keystroke.
Here, so.
Before you go, since the question was brought about the trigger, yes, I do. Here, for example, I have a trigger. So here, but also you have to tell you when do you want the trigger to happen. Like for example, here, since this is a checkbox, I need a trigger to trigger this. So here you have a trigger. It's on object save. So why? So here, if you want, we can just talk about this. Or what the difference between modify, validate, save, and exit. Okay. So I'm not talking about those two. Modify, we all know what it is. Validate is more complicated. Let's avoid this one. But let's talk about save and exit. When you say exit, every time you exit the object, you trigger the script. On object save, you trigger the script only when you made a change in the field, the demonstration. So if I have let's take this one again, and let's make it a field. Okay. And so I have two of them. I have two versions of them. Okay. I have this one on save, and this one is the same scripts. Sorry, the same scripts. The same script here on exit. Okay. Okay. So I have two.
You should probably just do a class on script trigger sometime. But yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So here, let's say here I have. Let's say I put one on both. Okay. Here, I enter. Let's put the debugger open. I enter and I click outside. Nothing happened. I click. Nothing happened. I click. Nothing happened. I click. I change something. I click, and then something. The script is triggered because I made a change. If I revert yeah, I cannot. But if I change this back, see, it triggers. Now, so if I click here, nothing. Here, nothing. If I click here, bam, I have. Even if I didn't do a change, you have the script coming, right?
So the bottom one, so the top one is on object save. The bottom one is wit. What is the bottom one?
On object exit.
Exit, yes. So it exits regardless, yes.
Yeah.
Or fires regardless, yes.
So I don't need the trigger to be. I don't need the script to be triggered if I didn't do a change in the field, right? So this is how you use wisely a script trigger. Okay, so you don't, because you don't need all the time to do is. Sometimes I'm seeing that you say, on commit, for example, on record commit, right? When you here you have on record commit here, we have the same kind of things in on mode exit, on layout exit, layout enter, on commit record revert commit unload. Okay, so maybe one day we need to do a course on this if you want to put that on.
Yeah, we'll put that in there too. Okay, I have a really kind of a good question, and we're going to wrap on this question. And this is from K. Tooley, who probably told me who he was way back. Is there, okay, so this is like a broader question, Nick, like a broad question. So the question is, when do we stick with the perform fine kind of scripted as opposed to this filter technique, this alternate technique? When do we decide that we do it the normal Richard way as opposed to the Nick, we've made this hack filtery relationship thing for the find, right?
It's not a hack.
It's not the hack. Okay, everyone repeat after me. It's not the hack.
It's not a hack. No, yeah, okay, good. That's a good question, and it's all about and you understand that all what I'm talking since years is always a good choice of the right choice of the right technique of the right feature, so at the right time. And this is a really good time. It's a good what's the name? It's a good question. So when do we need to use this perform fine stuff? Okay, because this is perform fine. As soon as you need to do something like you need to use the operators, those, right? If you need to use this, you need to use perform fine. But when you need to use those, okay, you have to, it's extremely punctual, it's extremely targeted, it's narrow. You want something extremely straightforward. You don't want something as broad as this, as a filter, okay? You want to target something using the operator, okay? So, for example, the date, for the range of dates, between this date to this date, for example, you want to see what each time you need to use those, okay, you use perform fine. Or when I use perform fine most of the time when I need something within a script. When a script is, I'm going somewhere. Let me take back this example here. Unfortunately, I closed it. Well, okay. So, so I'm using perform fine here. A good application on perform fine is in my pieces. So when I use pieces, most of the time I want something to happen like a search. Let me see if I have a search somewhere here. Yeah, okay, see? Okay, in this one, update time cards. So there's a pieces that goes somewhere and look for records. Like here, I'm looking for the time entry to be the same as this ID. The ID of the time entry is this ID. So it's extremely targeted. I know I want this ID here, this ID to be the ID that I have here in the script. The variable.
It's a precision, more of a precision tool.
Exactly, it's a precision because here in this case the perform quick find is wrong. It's not a good approach at all, because I want to target this field, right? So why this is for the extremely precise things.
Okay.
Right?
I do have one last question here. So Brutterman has been very patient. We go back to your sample file, Nick. What happens? I think this is pretty straightforward. But what happens when the X is clicked next to the department? So you're kind of Xing out when you press this over here. Yeah. What does that do?
Nothing. It's just set field. It clears. So I clear all with nothing. So here my technique, I clear everything with nothing. So tack. And when you do this, then I have another cool thing that happened is here. All of those has our on entry calculation. We definitely need to do this course.
Yeah.
And
June
I say,
3rd,
okay,
I think.
And I say, if it's empty, if the thing is empty, if the content of the current field, that means self, that's why I'm using self. Using self or doing this is the same, because I am in the filter department. So self means whatever the field, I am in field department. So self will understand that I'm targeting itself, okay? So I'm saying if it's empty, if self is empty, if this field is empty, put 1. Otherwise self. So here what happened. Let's say I'm putting this filter department here. Let's say I have this, the filter department. So I delete everything from here. Oh no, it's not this one. Yeah, what happened with this filter department? Nothing works today. That's funny. I don't know why it's not working, but it will work. J filter department. Let's bring this. Let's delete this for now, and bring this back. Okay. So you can see here, if I delete this, one's coming. See, I delete one is coming. So if I put something, it's okay. But if I put 0, nothing, 1 is coming. This is the auto entry calculation.
Brutterman, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I missed the subtlety of that. Brutterman caught that. He's on YouTube, and he was like, hey, make sure he asked this question twice because he's being very patient with me. But that's very clever, Nick, with the auto enter like that. Yeah, June 3rd, I think, is the auto enter, whatever I said on that date.
Yeah, because auto entry calculation is good for that because, for example, I want automatically. So this is a good example. Okay, let's wrap up with this after we go. Okay, I want to play my pinball. Instead of having a bunch of set fields, when you want to set fields, when you create a new record, for example, you create a new record, and I want to set field. Let's say, I don't have those. I don't have this. I don't have this. And I don't have this. Okay. So what happened when I create a new record? Create a new record. Where is it? Okay. Hold on. Yeah, because they are global. So, okay. So, sorry for that. So I create a new record. What happened? Nothing. It's empty. Okay. So now what happened if I have this back? Okay. Back. Okay. Back. New record. Bam. It's coming. See? So the auto entry calculation is when you create a new record is going to fill up all the fields you need because is empty. Because I'm saying here, if it's empty, you have to put 1. Whatever you do, you need to put 1. If even if you delete, is 1 back. Okay. So this is a good technique that avoids a lot of bunch of triggers and stuff like that. Yep.
No, that's great. I was actually just talking to people. They were laughing that you wanted to go play with your pinball. So we're going to wrap it up for today. All right. I'm going to let all you guys go. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the help, support, send the reviews. Make sure your updates are good. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And that's it for today.
Bye.
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.